Good evening, dear friends, and welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. It is Saturday night, and on Saturdays we gather together, preferably with a friend that we've dragged in out of the cold, sat them down at our table with us, maybe put a blanket around their shoulders, force some hot soup into their hands, and we play a wide variety of weird and wonderful roleplay games. And tonight we're doing just that. As you can see, we have an old friend sat by the fire with us, halfway through a hearty mug of minestrone, and we're playing a game that the three others of us have created. And we've been very fortunate that our dear friend has joined us for 10 episodes so far as we have play tested it and worked through this very first adventure. And dear viewers, uh, they're quite cocky. They think they've worked out who it is. But I've just received a message from my wife asking me to bring my daughter a mug of milk up. So, in a change to the usual proceedings, I'm going to hand over to my dear friend Ewan, who is going to introduce everyone this evening. And I shall be back shortly. So, Ewan, if you'd be so kind.
Of course, of course, of course. Hello, I am Ewan. That was Luke. He's just gone. Um, we're gonna change from the norm. I do have Luke's beloved intros for everybody memorized, of course, and tattooed up my arm just for prosperity's sake. Um, but we're not going
Fire
to go
arch
with those
nemesis
tonight.
now too. We can do that. That's fine.
No, not at all, not at all. It's just it's for the vibes. It's not the same way that I feel. You'll see when we get there. We're not going to do that tonight because Luke will never know. Don't tell him, anyone, please. Thanks. So as well as Luke, who is no longer here, I am joined by a fellow boy from the Baltic Star, a regular referee on our traveller nights, and all-round wonderful person, Ben. Hello, Ben.
Good evening.
Hello, Ben. Or good evening. Good evening is more Ben's style.
it is my sort of way. Yes.
It is. It certainly is. Hopefully the evening is good for you and you're enjoying.
It is. I am still
all
back
has been well.
for weeks and weeks and weeks, but I am here in spirit and mostly in body.
Perfect. And speaking about being in body, who are you embodying tonight?
That's a very good segue. I like that. Yes, I am playing Andy Lyon, a local postman and collector of artifacts relating to the post and the telegraph and other electronic and communications devices. He is therefore the only member of the team who carries a pocket calculator around with him. I mean, given that everyone's got one on their phone, it may seem redundant, but nonetheless, pocket calculator. He has access to a bicycle, though he hasn't used it to get to our current location because instead he did a rather excellent piece of driving on a sort of, like a quad bike, towing a trailer, which was superb, I think.
Indeed. The parking was particularly eventful.
Yeah.
Yes,
came to a complete stop.
Elegant is a fine word.
And within only a few minutes' walk of our destination.
And you know where to find it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can follow the shouts and the swearing and wherever the police towed it to.
That feels like the most appropriate place for it to be now. Certainly, come morning time, you'd imagine that it's been carted off somewhere.
Yes, but it's very important the police don't know that we parked it there because we weren't really supposed to have it.
Yes, of course.
We didn't.
Speaking of things,
have the permission of the owner.
Indeed. Speaking of things that we're not supposed to have, us at the Boys from the Baltic Star, we are quite humble. We're not very good role players, and as such, we're blessed to be joined by, contrary to what Luke would tell you, one of the most wonderful role players that we know.
Right, you're not
playing
doing
our
intros
game
again.
with us tonight.
You're banned.
Tonight we are joined by Sphero. Hello, Sphero. How are you?
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, for lowering
Thanks for having
yourselves to our level of
Oh,
nonsense.
God.
I love it just to watch him squirm a little bit. It's good times.
I will say that my role-playing abilities do not fall to voices or to consistent characterization, but more to just ideas about how things are supposed to be. But that's okay. It seems to work out.
Yeah, wonderfully well thought
As long
out
as I allow
character
one
ideas.
character, one hug at some point during a campaign, you guys keep having me back. So
Oh, has said character? We'll get onto the character later. But have they had their hug this campaign? I can't remember.
no, that's fine. He'll go home and hug his wife.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. How many pints has he had?
He has definitely had a glass of water all day.
He's going to be lucky if she lets him in.
He was in possession of it up to a half an hour ago.
Yes. And who are we talking about? Who is this wonderful character in possession of a glass of water half an hour ago?
Yeah, right. I play Bob Lewis, who is a fairly elderly church organist for the other church in the other town. I think it's St. Matthew's. I have a hard time keeping. I can't open my notes. I didn't get a powerful enough computer to open my notes and run Roll20. So I'm guessing at things. But I am not guessing about his attire. He wears mom jeans and a white short sleeve shirt with tiny blue crosses on it, and a cardigan, even though it is very hot out. The cardigan is necessary. It has the best pockets. He's a gossip, loves to gossip. This is probably the best night of his summer, until the next murder investigation. He's having a great time, but he's a little shaken up because he was in the trailer for that excellent parking job that happened, and he is elderly, so he's currently leaning a lot on the other characters. He's a little shaken up. There's a pretty short walk from where we parked the quad bike to Cherie Wayne's house, who totally did it, and we're just now discovering some other things about that before the police even get there. They've just arrived. His heart's just a twitter right now. It is pounding hard.
For sure. I think we all are after Andy's driving experience. It was enjoyable, but adrenaline.
Yeah. Maybe someone else drives next time.
Yes,
not Bob, though.
Assuming there will be. There's not going to be next time. We've got the killer. We're all done. And speaking of all done, I suppose the last thing for me to do is to introduce the most important character in tonight's session. I'm playing Arthur McBride, the Scottish-born St Philip's Point resident, with his beloved beagle Thistle, also in heavy knitwear for some reason on a very hot day, and a kilt. Luke, should we start?
Let's do just that. Thank
Please
you.
do.
Did you mention the dog? That's very important.
Yes. Thistle.
Thistle's gotten us out of a lot of trouble.
Thistle has been a bit of a star, actually.
Yes.
It's hard to be angry with a thistle. It's less hard to be angry with us. But when I say us, I mean probably mostly me, I think.
And Bob.
And a little, yeah.
These women are outside of his social circles, so he doesn't really feel like they've really contributed a lot to his life lately. This is okay to insult them and accuse them of foul murder.
These women are outside everyone's social circle. They're very much see themselves in the stratosphere compared to you, common gentlemen of the parish.
Stout yeoman of England.
They're missing.
Stout yeoman of England, Scotland, and America. You're like,
Bob's been here 50 years.
You're like the United Nations of criminal intent.
That's like Rampatrui having their foreign guy be Polish. See, we have diversity. It's 1960. It's the future. We got a Polish guy.
that nothing is more diverse than parishes in the south coast of England. We have men and women and dogs, and that's it. That's basically all. That's all we have down there, and yeah, and that's about it. So, but we have 3 gentlemen this evening. That's what we're leading with. So, are we all happy to return to the story?
Definitely.
Wonderful.
Let's go.
In which case, in another reality, DCI Cornwall would have been rehearsing his best aha for when David or Sherry Wayne opened their door to him this warm, still sunny evening. If his 3 inebriated sleuths had given him stone-cold evidence as to their guilt in the murder of the local Morris dancer and campanologist Hugo Carstairs, then he'd have been gnashing at the bit to read the couple their rights and drag them off to the police station, proudly marching them in front of his rivals on the Raddlesbury Police Service, with them looking on in envy at his quick and efficient collar. Unfortunately, local postman and noted crasher of quad bikes Andy Lyon, impossibly sharp and angular pensioner's favourite Bob Lewis, and the parish's favourite beagle Thistle, dutifully supported by generic owner Arthur McBride, had not been forthcoming in providing the kind of evidence that made DCI Cornwall confident of living out his triumphant strut. That's not to say that they didn't have reason to call DCI Cornwall to the Waynes' quaint cottage next to the church, here in the quintessential picturesque seaside village of St James. The trio's investigations, having started at the Brewer's Tap pub in Waltham Bridge, had led them around the parish after they'd been dragged away from their table at the relaxing and sweltering beer festival at the DCI's request. Coming to the conclusion that the beloved Carstairs had been poisoned, they had started narrowing down their list of suspects, with their main focus becoming Carstairs' bell ringing being the reason for his death, rather than his bell shaking. After all, Morris Dancers had recently been voted the 2nd most trusted group of people in the parish, while the campanologists had been facing competition from an increasing group of angry parishioners concerned about the well-being of local bats being negatively affected by Carstairs and his bell-ringing chums. So, the ladies' coffee group found itself under the microscope, especially as it seemed that the bell ringing at St James's parish church was interfering with their enjoyment of their evenings together. Definitely not something that such classy local ladies of stature would be happy with. The least classy, but most in demand from local men, noted cougar Millie LeBlanc, led the trio to what may have been their biggest clue yet, as they discovered that thanks to local hippie and seller of suspiciously shaped glass ornaments, Delilah Moonbeam's jewellery-making group, several local women had the means to get their hands on deadly cyanide, and in fact a vial of said cyanide was missing. With their focus narrowing even further, this left the posse with 5 names on their hit list: Millie LeBlanc, her daughter Sylvie, the aforementioned Sherry Wayne, campanologist Carmen Pillows, and head of the WI, and noted Morris dancing critic Catherine Staples. A taxi drive to Waltham Bridge and the B&B of the extremely busy and religious Carmen Pillows had seemingly removed her from contention, and so, stealing an unfortunately parked farmer's quad bike and trailer, the crew revved off back down the Roman road to St James to confront their main suspect, Sherry Wayne, a woman whose hosting of the socially important coffee evenings is at risk from the noisy bells, and who has seemingly lied about her whereabouts earlier in the day. But is she the wrongdoer? The murderer of her husband's Morris dancing colleague? And if she is, do our heroes have any proof? It is 8:20 p.m. on Sunday the 16th of August 2020, and DCI Alex Cornwall is stood at the front door, really hoping they have, because if they're wrong, then they are all off the case in exactly 70 minutes. And as you guys make a run for that top left-hand corner of the screen, and I'll drag you back down again.
Wait.
It's trying to escape.
Well,
all
it's a
going to
tense moment. We're nervous.
Stop running from your responsibilities.
Oh, no, you didn't tell me we were going to have responsibilities.
There's one man that's full of responsibilities, and that is, of course, Bob Lewis, 71 years young.
That's right.
Yes.
The pointiest elbows in the land.
The pointiest elbows in all the land. I would like to point out at this point, we discussed beforehand that the three of them are all basically playing to type. Spence is playing a cranky old man with wisdom. It's like a busman's holiday for you.
I just sit down and talk.
Ben's actually played younger than himself, as is Ewan.
Mm-hmm.
But both dour individuals. And I think that's why I've got confidence in the three of you. As I believe it was Cherie. No, Ewan's making run for it. As Cherie heads to the front door to let in DCI Cornwall. Now, if you remember, the three of you had just been in, I guess, like the drawing room, I suppose, sort of the guest welcoming room, where there'd been a cabinet which Bob had a strange vision of. It communed with the spirit world.
Slight correction. I think you referred to it as the cyanide room before.
Oh, sorry. Let me make a note on that. Sorry. How silly of me. Was it? Did I refer to it as the cyanide cabinet as well?
Probably.
Well, we already know. So, Bob's a beginner to clairvoyance, but he's had so much experience with everything else that he gets to add that to his clairvoyant experience.
So the cabinet, and inside there's a drink, which I believe was, I think I asked for a nice gin, I believe, but they couldn't see anything else of interest before they were shuffled
before
back
we
out
got
the
to the
room.
cabinet, Cherie called from the living room that there was whiskey in the kitchen.
That's right. You were going for the nicer drink in the cabinet, but Cherie called you back. You couldn't see anything of interest. And,
didn't even get unlocked.
I know
it's in there.
You guys have proven you don't need other people to unlock things for you.
Yes, but if we unlock it, then we could have planted it. We can't do that.
Oh. Well,
you have to be above reproach here.
That's true. That's very, very good.
Lucky for
What's
you.
next? Stealing vehicles?
Well, let's not talk about that in an ideal world. even in a sort of light-hearted way, because at some point the police are going to ask the obvious question as to how a vehicle magically moved itself many miles across the countryside.
It's the beer festival. It could have been anyone.
That's true.
Strange things do happen at the beer festival.
We have a golf appointment later.
I mean, at this one, a Morris man was murdered, for example.
What happens at the beer festival stays at the beer festival.
I think the murderer would definitely sign on to that deal.
I think the quad bike would as well at this point.
Yes, I mean, as far as I'm aware, it isn't badly damaged.
Well, it's in several pieces and upside down.
But
those pieces
are close together.
Yeah, and it had a trailer, so realistically,
the harder they break, the harder they are to repair.
That's two pieces right there.
Yeah,
just snap half those right back in. It's no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if you put the pieces in the trailer, you're sort of halfway to getting it fixed.
Sure. Buckle the trailer back on, and it's one piece again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to make that traction roll.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
You hear, as you're sort of led through to the kitchen by David, you do hear the knock at the door, and you sort of hear Cherie leave the living room and walk over to the door. And who's there? There's a pause. DCI Cornwall, can you open up, please? She sort of turns around and looks at the three of you before sort of scrabbling a little with the lock that sort of they automatically do. You know, they're a bit older, they're sort of a bit nervous, but she unlocks it and opens the door, and there is your good friend DCI Cornwall.
I shall give him a sort of a stoic nod and, to welcome him, not say anything.
He squints his eyes slightly at you, Andy. Have you been drinking, Mr. Lyon?
Not by beer festival standards.
He brightens up a little bit. Well, that's okay then. That's good. Wouldn't want you to. I wouldn't want the three of you to have gone about this case with the lack of gravitas that it deserves. We are looking for a murderer, after all.
We are.
Indeed.
Actually, thank you for the reminder.
That is okay, and I assume you've called me here because you believe you've found said murderer, or at least you have a real lead.
We believe we have uncovered important evidence which might indeed point the finger towards a suspect.
And their accomplice.
And possibly their accomplice.
So you're saying this is a two-man job?
Well, it's certainly possible.
He sort of strides in past Cherie, who sort of just quite quietly closes the door behind and wanders back down the corridor. He strides into the kitchen. He sees David with the whiskey. He shouts over, "One more glass, please, Mr. Wayne, if you don't mind." David sort of nods quietly and takes another glass out and sort of turns his back to the four of you and starts pouring another whiskey. The DCI doesn't sit. He stands in the corner, tall and straight as men of the law often are. So, please enlighten me.
Good idea. Yes, let's do that. Bob, why don't you start?
Well, we started our investigation looking for suspects who might object to Morris dancing, because some of us don't care for Morris dancers. I'm not really sure why, but there it is. And through our investigations, we were led to discover that, in fact, our murder victim also had another contentious occupation, that of being a bell ringer, which led us, coincidentally, past another bit of evidence of certain people being organized against them. And from there, and Bob just gestures to Arthur because I don't have my notes. But what happened next? I'm sorry. I'm just so certain.
Yes. From there, precisely. We asked a few questions. We were here earlier today. We asked about
Whereabouts?
Cherie's whereabouts, their timeline for the day, and found out via the form for the what was the group's name, Bob? Do you remember?
He's like tapping on the badge that he has with the bats on it.
Bats, owls, and other animals. That
Possibly badgers.
Well, it's always badgers, isn't it?
Yeah. The organization in town who are trying to stop the bell ringings to save the bats. That Cherie is in fact strongly against the bell ringing, and signed the form at the time when they said that they were in a completely different location.
Suspicions.
Squirrel.
Suspicions. Squirrel, yes. They were not in the squirrel. That's the other animal.
Not
Just to be
badger.
clear.
Squirrel.
No, yes, squirrel. We also, whilst investigating for further clues, found this note. Bob, where's the note? Get the note.
Oh, he hauls it out of his cardigan pocket. Waves it.
Please hand it to the inspector. I think it speaks for itself.
The inspector takes it. So what am I looking at here? Exactly.
This was from Millie LeBlanc.
No, this is the note that was found in this house.
Oh, that note. Yes,
expressing the anger at the bell ringing.
Yes.
Yes.
Moving the meeting.
To another location. This is a serious social threat. Can you imagine if my ladies didn't meet at the parish house after church on Sunday? It would be terrible.
I see. Yes, so I see one of the fellow members suggesting that because of the noise, it should be moved across town. I do. Phyllis Chumley, yes, she's very well known, of course. And
we did talk to her.
I'm sure you managed to get a word in edgeways here and there.
So,
not so much.
I think, honestly, Arthur made a bit of a friend there.
That should serve you well.
I had a bit of a hard time with the booties, so I don't think I'll be going back.
With her booty?
The booties. You have to put the little the socks on.
The shoe covers.
Okay. Oh, I've heard rumors about. I've heard rumors
this
about
whole thing where he kind of leans. He's bending his knees, but he's got to brace his upper body on his upper legs too, and he takes a foot out and shakes it, but he's almost gonna. His elbows are like chicken legs as he's trying to demonstrate a foot in an awkward position.
Okay,
the booties.
Okay, the booties. One language, two different cultures, etc., etc. So hard to understand you.
Shoe covers.
Our Atlantic friends sometimes.
They go on your shoes.
Okay. I understand. But yes, anyway, this letter does suggest, I suppose, that
motive.
A motive.
I would be devastated if I received such a letter.
He points to the date in the top corner. He says, and of course, the three of you looked closely at this date and noticed that it's been changed from to the 16th, from what looks maybe the 14th or 12th, maybe.
Oh, naturally, which is highly suspicious. Why would you feel the need to do such a thing?
You always have to be suspicious of edits.
Is that a saying from where you're from originally, Mr. Lewis?
Oh no, it's just that's the benefit of getting a story from multiple angles, is that you get to hear where they're different. Gives you the suspicions.
Very wise. You can tell you're the most sober of the three, Mr. Lewis.
Absolutely. He's leaning against the wall now because it was really difficult to get up from that position.
So, the three of you believe you have a motive. The three of you believe you have started unpicking a potential alibi as to timings. I might need to know to take to the station, of course, so that I'm not laughed out of court and this isn't kicked out before it reaches anywhere. Evidence and some kind of timeline, perhaps.
Well, I'm glad you brought up such a thing. Furthermore, to our investigation, we questioned a person whose name had come up several times. As Andy mentioned earlier, Millie LeBlanc. Sylvie, the older one.
Millie LeBlanc.
Yes, Millie LeBlanc.
It's not just her name that comes up regularly when people are around her, as the rumours go.
Yeah.
Well, She mentioned another name to us, and said that we were to speak to Delilah Moonbeam over at the Mystic Nook.
The Mystic Nook.
What class they've taken?
I've not been there often, but Mrs. Cornwall does like to dabble with gems and heather and strange ornaments.
Indeed. And she herself told us. Sorry, go on.
In fact, hemp bags. If you've seen this small bag that I carry with me, my wife got it for me from the Mystic Nook. It's got little mirrors in.
Which is essential for bags.
Very much so. The light just reflects off as I walk around. Quite pretty, don't you think?
Sure, it goes very well with the uniform.
When you receive a gift from your wife, Mr. Lion, it takes a braver man than I to refuse to carry it with me.
I understand. Courage of that level is rare indeed.
It truly is. Anyway, sorry, yes. The Mystic Nook.
Yes. And Delilah told us of a class she had been teaching, making jewellery, and the involvement of cyanide in the making of said jewellery.
Cyanide?
She checked her stocks, and one was in fact missing. A vial of cyanide.
A vial of cyanide is missing.
We received the names, and having extensively questioned and ruled out those that surely couldn't have done such a thing. Andy will talk you through those names now.
Well, we felt immediately that we could probably rule out Millie LeBonc, since she had directed us to the jewelry class itself. It would have been reckless of her to do so if she was the killer. Sylvie LeBonc, for indirect reasons, could be ruled out as well, because the timing of her disappearance from the pub didn't really match well with the murder, we felt, which left us with just three names. Carmen Pillows, the person at the Riverside Bed and Breakfast. So we investigated there and took a look around. We were subtle, we were thorough, and we considered that it felt unlikely, based on her responses to our carefully crafted, not to say devious questions, that she was involved in any way.
That's exactly how I remember it.
Bob took the lead.
Yes, he said. Which left us essentially with just two possibilities: Catherine Staples and Sherry Wayne. But we already knew, of course, that Sherry Wayne had a motive and the opportunity to get to the crime scene. And nobody would have noticed her wandering about. She was a well-known figure around the neighborhood. She claimed that she wasn't able to get there because of the time she signed the bat petition. But when we looked into it, we discovered that the bat petition had in fact been signed much earlier that morning than she assessed. So accordingly, we believe she had time to get there, commit the murder, and escape. And if she has been foolish enough to leave evidence in this house of, for example, a somewhat used bottle of cyanide, then I believe we have a murderer.
Yes. And an accomplice.
And potentially an accomplice, yes.
So you were able to cut Catherine Staples off your list, I suppose, which bodes well for the WI, I suppose, as she's their leader.
She didn't benefit in any way from this murder.
She didn't seem to have a motive, to be honest, yes.
In fact, she lost out on the status of having her home used for the coffee group by this murder.
Potentially.
So My friends, as I will call you now, as you seem, as Bob is leaning against me, so I assume we're now friends.
Oh.
He leans on Arthur instead.
So,
Still trying to kind of like get that second foot under.
so where do you feel this this evidence is?
I believe if you open this drinks cabinet found in the drawing room, you'll find the suspicious vial.
Obviously, other places are possible, but we thought this would be the place to start.
Yes.
Mark, it's a small parish, and the bigwigs are in Raddlesbury, a couple of towns over, and he bats for the Home team very much. He doesn't want the bods from out of town. They're very proud in Southbourne, and he knows that these three are fine, splendid amateur sleuths with a history of amateur sleuthing. There we go. And if not, the whole plot falls apart. Miss Marple, there's like 40 years of Miss Marple, and she's just some crazy old woman. So, anyway,
a good record, though. To be fair,
very good record, very
strong record.
Anybody we don't know isn't worth knowing.
So, you believe that the vial may be where exactly?
In this, and he, pushes himself off from Arthur. He's got both feet under him now that he's moving, and he shambles toward the drawing room that we were in before he arrived.
I will show him a picture of the vials that we took at the shop to indicate what kind of thing he's looking for.
That's great. And he'll gesture grandly toward the cabinet. I believe if you open this here, you'll find everything you're looking for. His hand's shaking a little bit.
The DCI looks at the cabinet, sees the small keyhole there, turns to look to Cherie, who slightly trembling, but a DCI is asking. She quietly sort of reaches into a small. It's like on top of it. There's like a china teapot, and she sort of takes the lid off and reaches in and pulls out the key. And she puts it in the lock and opens the lock, and the front opens out. That becomes the area where you can put your glasses and things on and so on.
Yeah.
As we had things.
A repurposed writing desk of sorts.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And then she steps back. Inside, there is indeed a fancier bottle of whiskey, a fine bottle of gin, a selection of different glasses, a couple with a very famous baby deer emblazoned upon, for those in a certain era. A half-empty bottle of Advocaat that's all gone yellow around the top, of course, crusty and yellow.
Just getting good then.
Exactly. A half-finished bottle of Harvey's Bristol Cream.
Horrible people. What are they doing?
A full plastic bottle from the supermarket of tonic water. A couple of sort of small knives and corkscrews and bits and pieces like that. And that's it that you can see.
Well, it's a writing desk. There are drawers, right?
There are.
Perhaps TCI Cornwall should open some of the drawers.
Why, thank you for your suggestion, Mr. Bob Lewis.
He kind of like pats pockets.
Not that we're
Pulls out
telling
a
you how to do
handkerchief.
your job or anything.
Did you say you patted DCI Cornwall's pockets? Did you say?
No, Bob. He like gets a handkerchief out of one of his like many mom jean pockets and starts just dabbing at his face. He's getting agitated.
Mr. Lewis, this will be easier if you're not resting your chin on my shoulder.
Shuffle back a couple steps.
There are 4 drawers. Which drawer should we start with? I'll give it to you guys. Top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right.
Top left.
Top left.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Inside top left is half a pack of polos.
Okay. Top right.
Inside top right is 27p in coins.
Why?
Well, because she's quite well off.
Okay.
Where she keeps her special extra money.
She's not a poor woman.
Bottom left.
A small half-finished piece of what's clearly amateurly made jewellery and an empty brown paper bag.
Who keeps an empty brown paper bag in their drinks cabinet?
Yeah. Can I examine the brown paper bag, please, and see if, based on its crinkles, what size of thing did it at one point contain?
Right. Fortunately for you, when we created the villages, one of the skills is crinkle
Crinkles.
measurement. Yeah. Crinkle measurement. It's a very niche game for those watching.
Yes, it is.
Very specific skills, and one is in crinkles.
I mean, any relatively nosy person considers themselves an expert in this.
Exactly, you're quite right too. Luckily for us, Andy Lyon is a considerably nosy person.
That's why we get along so well.
He is a postman.
Not the drinking.
He is a postman.
Quite right too. Right. So, for those watching, if you don't know how our game works, when there's a check made, you always roll a d10, because a d10 is the possibility that a human can achieve anything, even if they have no skin in it, just by sheer dumb luck. Now,
the goal is to roll a 1 or 2 for context.
Yes, you want to hit at least 1 1 or 2 2s. That's what you want to get. So they're going to get a d10. Now, do you have any sleuthing? So it's like a tree for those of you that haven't seen before, like Civilization, the game, where you start with basic skills and they branch out into more specialist. So the most basic skills that we're going to go down this branch is sleuthing. So Ben, you get a d8 for every sleuthing box you have shaded.
So that's d10 and 2d8.
I will give you a d6 for any police work box you've got shaded.
None at all.
And a d4 for any evidence you've got shaded.
None at all. However, if I may, I would like to use my d8 boon, please.
You can use your d8 boon, so use that and then rub out.
Sorry, it's a d6 now. It's
a
d6.
Nice. So then take your d6 boon and then rub out all your boons.
Yep.
Please.
So that gives me a d10, 2 d8s, and a d6.
And you're trying to get a 1 or 2 2s.
Yep. Come on.
Or a 2 and a 1.
Okay. I have a 10, a 6, a 4, and a 1.
Oh, they were all the.
It was one of the d8s.
Oh, nice.
If you were to, you couldn't prove it in a court of law, and it would be difficult to, make sure it's certain. But to your eye, the crinkling size matches that of the vial that Delilah Moonbeam showed you, the other one.
I will sort of show by just very gently, helping it fold up on its own crinkles, if you know what I mean, not crush it. Just show the inspector that it does kind of look like it could have contained such a thing, and then I will rest it to one side.
The inspector nods slowly, and he turns to Cherie, and he motions to a chair and says, "You may sit down if you wish, Mrs. Swain. I have some questions to ask you, and my colleagues may do also." Cherie quietly walks over, and she sits down on quite a low chair that's sort of a bit embroidered on the seat, all very lovely. David is sort of standing in the doorway, still holding like 4 whiskies, looking a bit awkward in this moment. And the DCI approaches. Yes.
Sorry, very quickly, can Arthur nudge Bob and just say, Bob?
Oh yeah, Bob will take the tray from him or whatever, and
No.
just...
Not that. Not that. Shh. No. You should check the last drawer.
No,
No, I don't want to.
he has to.
Oh, okay.
Those are the rules.
Remind him.
And he like pushes the whiskey into your hand.
Yeah.
Hands off everything. You can't touch anything.
He drops the glass of whiskey. We're quite a few things in by this point, not us.
The glass smashes on the floor. The whiskey sprays along the floor and up the wall.
And now the house stinks.
Cornwall looks around with a shock and sort of shoots you a bit of a dirty look, actually. He's a bit frustrated at your unprofessionalism and your drunkenness in this moment of tense and hope of glory.
It was on purpose. It was on purpose. It wasn't accidental. Sorry.
Carrying out an experiment, are you?
Yeah, something like that. The reactions. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Please go on.
Okay. So, Mrs. Wayne, where were you at? And he turns around to the 3 of you for a time.
He turns around to look at us for a time.
Yeah, for a time. Where were you at? You're sort of leading his investigation for him.
12 to 12:30, I would estimate. I'm not an expert on cyanides, but death being at 12:30, I would.
And cyanide kills in seconds, so
12 to 12:30. She pauses for a second. Sort of frowns a little. Says I was at home at that time by myself. David had gone to Waltham Bridge for the day as part of the beer festival. They had their Morris dancing, I believe. They had various performances, as they always do in these events. It's not an event for me. I don't enjoy such things. And I wasn't feeling particularly well. So I was at home. A DCI thinks for a minute. So is there anyone that can agree with this? Anyone that can prove this? I was trying to think of the word then, but it's not collaborate, is it? It's
Corroborate.
corroborates.
Yeah.
Corroborates. Anyone corroborate this? She pauses again and thinks. She says, "Well, could the three of you please roll, all three of you, D10, a D8 for, let's go for sleuthing, snooping, and I'll give you gut feeling or misleading."
Okay. 10,
Just a second.
8, 8, 6, 6, 4.
Oh, that is a mighty pool of dice.
I have a powerful pool.
A powerful pool.
Oh,
Oh, there it
so
is.
close.
Sorry.
Wow. That was impressive.
What was the last one?
Gut feeling or misleading.
Misleading.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to go. I got a 2 and a 3. It's this close.
Oh,
I got a
that's
2 and a
it,
3 and a
nothing
3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 9.
Oh, we got 2 2s between us.
let's hope Bob's coming into his own.
Come on, Bob.
Yes.
1.
Oh, you know.
For Bob.
The second, I have to. Oh no. No. I got a 5, an 8, a 3, and a 4. How dare?
Yep.
I
No,
did
my best was a
at
2.
some level. I just don't remember what it is. Can I roll that one?
Oh, which one?
I have a boon at some level. I think maybe a D8.
Yeah, give yourself a D8 then, and then your D8
Okay.
is gone.
Just one last chance.
One last chance.
No.
Oh.
No, it's a dream.
Single twos are a partial. Single twos are a partial.
So we got a couple of partials between
Couple
us.
of partials.
What was the question? I've forgotten.
Has you got anyone that can
We don't
corroborate
exactly
her
know.
story?
It was we might
Oh.
notice something when she.
Yeah.
I see.
She sort of frowns. She pauses and she said, "Well, I did pop out in the morning. I was feeling tired. I was feeling unwell. I took a wander around town. I walked up the ambles. I signed a petition. Came home. I didn't leave the village all day."
Are you in the habit of going out for a wander when you're tired and unwell?
Well, if you're as lucky to live, Arthur, Mr. McBride, where do you live?
I'm on the island, not too far from here.
Then you would know how on a summer's morning, living so close to the coast can be very uplifting.
Well, living close to the coast certainly can, but I believe we're talking about getting out of bed and wandering around the town when you're, if you'll pardon the phrase, on, as you would have us believe, on death's door.
You and you only, Ewan. Could you please roll let's go villaging, schmoozing, fitting in, please.
Oh, goodness me, that's terrible. Plus a D10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that a D10 then?
That's a D10 and a D4. I've got fitting in, but nothing else. For some reason.
Not the fitting in. just because you just naturally fit in.
Oh, that's a 3 and a 1, and the one's a
big,
Wow.
Billy, big time. She
Not
pauses
expecting that.
and he says, "Look, I also went out at around the time you said. I went up the ambles again. Did a wander down to the beach. Back again. Just. I know I said I was sick. I was, but I wasn't not on death's door. But I was poorly. Look." And she sort of pauses to think, and then she sort of snaps her finger. She said, "Colin Wensley. He'll corroborate my story."
If you're just very quickly, one more. It's the ambles was quite busy when we were there earlier. It's
That often is.
It's a very
at weekends.
popular part of town, and you're telling me that on the 2 occasions that you wandered up this this busy part of town on a day like today, that only one person can corroborate your story.
She sort of motions to DCI Cornwall as if can I, kind of, can I? And she walks over to the cabinet and pulls open the bottom right drawer, and in it is a small bag. With Colin Wensley, like his bag thing in, and she thrusts it into your hands, Arthur.
What sort of cheese is it?
It's not cheese.
Oh, what is it?
If you open it, it's like he's got. If you open the jar, it's like his own made pickled onions. A small jar of like artisan, and there is a receipt in it, which does corroborate the time. It was 12:02.
There's somebody else in this room whose presence we haven't accounted for.
Cash or card?
Come on now. Cash.
Of course,
Cash cash is king, Mr. McBride.
The possession of such onions, such fine onions, and a receipt for them is not proof that you were there buying them.
It's not, but she sort of looks up at the clock slightly. If you want to go and talk to Colin Wensley, I'm sure he could. He'll remember me. After all, I've been in many times. I may be one of the only regular customers he has left since that smokery moved in.
I believe that's its official name, the Smokery.
You've seen the price of their sausages, Mr. Lyon?
I have seen the price, but I have also...
Their sausages are enough to make your eyes water.
Well, to be fair, I think that's the paprika.
I'm not too good with spice at my age, Mr. Lyon.
And while we're here, perhaps we should take a look in the fourth drawer.
That was the fourth drawer.
Damn it.
But there is somebody whose presence we have not accounted for at either of those times who's also in this room.
Well, sort of, certainly very nearby, yes, within raising voice range.
He's got empty hands because I've taken the tray from him.
Sir Cornwall looks to the three of you. Okay, so what's your next move?
Where was David at these times?
Cherie sort of looks at the three of you. David was in Waltham Bridge performing as part of the Morris troupe.
Yes.
Your husband.
David is my husband, yes.
Yes.
I have the paperwork if you need it.
Someone who shares your joys and concerns with you.
Bob, could you please roll an agility check? That is going to be a
Agility.
What's your agility score?
+3.
Right, so go a D10, a D8, and a D6.
Can Andy weigh in and just say, and has your very best interests at heart? I'm sure.
No. 2 4s and a 3.
You've leant on the cabinet in your slightly drunken state, and as you go into this sort of moment of there's another person, you accidentally knock the beautiful teapot off to the floor, shatters, sending mint imperials flying everywhere.
Terrible. But does the accusation land? That's the important part. Shares your joys and concerns, I believe I said.
Well, you're a married man, aren't you, Mr. Lewis?
Oh, absolutely. 50 years.
Oh, don't we all share our partner's joys and concerns?
Oh, absolutely.
David and I love each other very much.
Mm-hmm.
David is a wonderful, kind, loving man.
Of course he is.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that you are very upset at the proposal that this coffee meeting would be moved to Phyllis's house. And that perhaps your husband shares your concerns with you because you were just so very upset and he loves you. Maybe more than he loves his Morris dancing troupe.
Well, D10, D8 villaging, D6 schmoozing, D4 gossip, please.
Oh, you meant my strengths.
Yes. No simple agility
so I get
rolls,
2.
Nice.
Gossip and... Oh, no. Okay, that's fine. Villaging, schmoozing, gossip?
Yeah.
Okay. 2d8s.
Okay.
That's the last one. Sorry this takes me longer.
It's all good.
It's okay.
It's
worth
builds
it when you
tension. I like it.
D4. No. Why? Did I miss something?
What did you roll?
Yeah, there's only 4 dice there.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I missed one. That's even worse.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a single 1 or 2 in the... I cannot roll these dice.
Oh, it's not your night. You guys are having good nights.
My accusations are so clear.
Well, you, this is what it sounds like to everyone else. Does your husband love you very much? Anything for you?
He needs a place to sit down. There's broken glass all over the floor.
Yeah, it's true.
And
I'm worried about his ankles with the Imperials as well. If he moves too fast, he's become a death trap in there.
He gives Arthur like this gesture, like "Help me."
And then Arthur will wander over and put an arm under him and try and look around for somewhere glass-free and Imperial-free to sit him down. And I think what we're trying to say, Cherie, is that we can certainly understand that your husband has your best interest at heart and wants to do anything that they can to stop this. Your coffee mornings being moved, and it would have such a negative impact on your life. We could very much understand that this bell ringing has been a nuisance for the both of you, I'm sure, and that perhaps things got away from them a little bit, maybe, or yourself. We could see why somebody would want to kill over such an inconvenience to their idyllic life that they've set up for themselves here in
And
St.
get themselves a tidy alibi with the pickle shop.
Sorry, I'm skipping a few steps on the old read technique. I'm going straight into
Go straight in. You're going straight for the sleuthing police work interrogate, please.
No.
Someone better roll something.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
Roll 20 hates me.
Smithing police work interrogate. Plus a D10.
You need to buy some real dice.
I have like 50 sets in storage. I can't.
Oh, that's good.
I'll lend you my pink
That's a
ones.
10 or
They
3.
always roll 6, then they're good for you. Yeah.
Sorry.
10. Oh.
10, a 3, a 2, and a 1.
Oh. That's more like
Someone's
it.
gonna do it.
That's a good route for me. Unlike the others.
You're right. This means a lot to me since we moved down to this village. I wanted to be part of sort of a ladies' group. Very lucky to end up in one with the head of the Women's Institute, you know, the governor at the local school, you know. Millie brings her own strengths, but we do a lot for the community, you know. We provide a lot, and in our meetings we come up with so much important input for the way these villages should be run. And
the jewel in the crown of any village.
Oh, absolutely. But you are right, and you've seen the letter. They were going to move it away to Phyllis's cottage, her beautiful cottage across the village. Everyone always says it's so lovely. It's been such a treat to have it here. I know that most people wanted it at Phyllis's anyway. It feels like it was almost an excuse to get it over there, you know.
She needs a bench in a foyer.
Oh.
And it would never leave there once it was there. Can you have such a comfortable and well-equipped facility?
Well, it was only ever between the two of us anyway. Catherine doesn't live in the village. Millie lives with her daughter at the patisserie. So for us to have it here, it did mean a lot. And to lose it would hurt a lot. And just because of bells, they are loud on those nights, and they do affect it. But like, God, so much hope that this petition with the bats would put a stop to it, you know. But it could take months. And it's so frustrating.
And you saw how few numbers they had signed this morning. Mm-hmm. And that must have made you very angry.
Well, it'll happen one day, but just our concern is that it'll happen. You know, we hope we can get it back. We hope we can get it back. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there'll be a time where Phyllis can't hold it and we can take it back, and we can sort of encourage everyone to have it back over here more regularly. We don't have the view over the cliffs or of the, you know, the model village, and you know, we're not in that historical corner, but it's nice here. I look after my house. She sort of looks at the ruined carpet, full of booze and shards of glass and trodden imperials.
Mint imperials, as far as they can see.
I have other rooms I could hold the meeting in, I suppose. But she sort of looks up at the clock. But I believe, even if you think I did do it, there's no proof.
What are you expecting to happen? Why are you looking at the clock?
What type of clock is it?
It's just a regular round analog clock. It's nice. It's got like wooden. It's wood around the outside, not plastic, and it's got Roman numerals, so you know it's fancy. And it's got
On the wall.
and the
Oh, does it have
4,
compartments?
except the 4 is I rather than IV, which always annoys me in clocks. But
Yeah.
yeah. What can you do? The clock is ticking over to it's 8:40.
Can I ask David a question?
You can ask David a question.
I'm going to say to him, David, you're a Morris man.
I have been a Morris man many years.
I've never done it myself. I do understand that there is a fairly common thing among Morris men that they often secrete a hip flask on their person for an occasional swig of some refreshment between, while they're still out there performing before they have a chance to go and get a beer. Do you have such a thing?
I have my tankard. We all carry our tankards around to drink from pub to pub. I can bring you that if you want.
But no hip flask of your own.
I have a hip flask, but I didn't. It's with my gear, but I didn't drink from it today. You want to see that anyway?
If you don't mind.
David wanders off. You can see that he sort of goes upstairs into the room that you didn't go into upstairs. You sort of hear the footsteps, and he comes back down, and he hands you his flask. It's sort of, it was silver, but it's a bit beaten up a little bit. It's got his initials on it, and it's got sort of a relatively well engraved like 2 sticks crossing.
Okay. I would like to open it and give a quick sniff of the contents, please.
Right, you can. Let's go for the most important stat of all: farming, relaxing, and drinking, please.
Farming, relaxing, and drinking.
I don't know why you're not using the sniffing stat.
A D10.
Oh no, he's not a drinker. This explains why you're so drunk. He's not much for drinkers, actually.
I don't even have any stats.
I have nothing in farming or relaxing or drinking.
It's not very relaxed.
All villaging.
Just
all the time.
All villaging all the time.
I have a smidgen of villaging.
I have 2 villaging.
That's okay. It's a 1.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
D10 rolled a 1. How cool is that?
It smells.
Oh my god!
It smells exactly like the whiskey that you're drinking.
Okay. All right.
So either that means there is no cyanide in it, or the whiskey that you've got is full of cyanide.
Yeah.
All the whiskey tastes of bitter arbor.
I'm going to make the assumption
it's a good year
that I'm comfortable with that. I will carefully screw it back on, hand it back to him, and thank him.
Sort of nods at you. He just slips it into his pocket for now. Okay.
And may I just take a look in things like the kitchen bin and see if there is a bin outside the back, looking for an empty glass vial of any kind?
Or the rest of his uniform. His costume.
I won't make you roll for bins because I'm guessing you're going to spend long. You're willing to be thorough enough that you can find what you're looking for, right? There's nothing of note in either of those bins.
What about the rest of the costume?
Are you going to go upstairs for it, or are you going to ask him to bring it down?
I'll accompany him while he goes upstairs for it.
Well, you got to link arms with him so you don't fall down to your
I'll hold
Uh,
on to his belt, obviously, and the railing really hard.
Obviously.
You head up
Wait.
to the room instead of. Yes, sorry.
Sorry, no, really quickly. Where did he go to get the hip flask from?
The room we didn't go in.
So when you went upstairs that
Upstairs,
last
the
time,
room we didn't
you
go
had that room to the left, which was their room.
Yeah.
You had sort of a straight onish, which was the bathroom, which is where you said you were going to go when you went up there.
Yeah.
And then to the right would be the other bedroom. You would assume, I think, but which when he takes you up there it's kind of a spare room, but like a corner of it has been devoted to his dumping ground of, there's some bells, there's some sticks, there's some hankies, there's his clothes sort of hung up.
How is he reacting to these accusations? He's got a bunch of guys in his living room accusing him of killing his friend. Like, does he have anything to say about it?
Strangely calm.
That's really suspicious. I just want to say that out of character.
You go to he sort of points you to his garb. I don't know what they have, a jerkin, probably some sort of jerkin and trousers, white, sort of a waistcoat, some sort of flappy material bits. I'll assume if you're searching through again, we won't make you roll because you're searching the bits. There's nothing within his outfit that would suggest a vial or anything like that.
And he'll kind of mutter as he goes, like, "Well, we're very sorry to have to do this, but you know, like the sort of like polite noises that you make, even though you're totally sure they did. But okay, and there's nothing else like around the room, like a hole in the flooring or anything obvious.
No, there's nothing there.
Okay. And what about your pockets?
Mr. What, his pockets? His pockets now, or
the pockets he's wearing? He'll kind of like Bob will kind of like do it, like he'll put his hands in his pockets of his mom jeans.
In his pockets there is a few notes. If you remember, he was at the Origin, so he's got this sort of notes and what we'd call shrapnel, which is a selection of coins that you'd sort of have from drinking and snacks basically left over.
Okay.
You've just been chucking notes at him. So you've checked all his clothing gear. He's got and then around the bottom there's like his satchel, his tankard, like his little gear bits as well in there as well. Do you want to check that as well, or are you just sticking to his clothing?
Oh yeah, this is a thorough, like, I'm gonna search until I find something.
Okay, this one I'm going to make you roll because there's more bits and pieces. Clothes are clothes, right? Pockets are pockets.
Yeah.
Bags and things you don't understand are all different.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
no,
yeah.
this is. I mean, Bob has his own skills, and Morris Danson is not a part of that. He's a church organist, and
Right,
his
certainly
hobby
is.
is gossip.
Then let's go for.
He really depends on the house cleaners of his acquaintance for the picking through people's things.
Let's go for sleuthing, police work, and what, evidence, I suppose?
Okay.
Sleuthing, police work, and evidence, I would say.
Okay. So I have sleuthing out of those.
Or I'd give you sleuthing, snooping, and gut feeling if you're sort of
Okay.
more prying into like following your heart into what might be there.
There's so much following my heart because of my recent partial success with clairvoyance.
Ah,
Okay, sleuthing.
well, you found a bag that might have had something in, and you found 27p.
Yeah.
And clairvoyance is all about the money, so.
There was a crumpled bag, and it was suspiciously crumpled. Okay, so what's the path I'm going?
The pickled onions as well. Sleuthing, snooping, gut feeling.
Okay. D86. Okay. I don't know why I'm bothering to roll. Roll 20 hates me, but we're doing it.
It's time for roll 20 to come through for you, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
2 6s and a 1.
nice.
Fantastic.
There is in the bag. You go through the stuff that you'd expect to be in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some flyers that have been pushed in that have obviously been handed out to him from the
Yep.
festival. A couple of beer mats that he's obviously taken, that he's sort of taken some interest in. A couple of freebies, like a bottle opener, like you guys got a bottle opener, I think from Herman's Homebrew or something. I think he got the same. Some bits and pieces. And then in sort of one of the inside pockets, that's sort of more in the corner, you do find a small lid.
I call DCI Cornwall immediately up the stairs before I touch it.
Yeah. DCI Cornwall does indeed come up the stairs.
If you would like to examine, and then he just picks up the part of the garment that has it. This.
DCI Cornwall dramatically reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pair of plastic gloves, rubbery gloves. He is a pro. He takes
we should have kept those shoe coverings.
He takes out a baggie, plastic Ziploc bag, and he reaches in and he pulls out this little lid and he puts it straight into the bag, closes it with a Sharpie. He writes time and date and where it was found, and quietly walks downstairs with it and holds it out first for the two of you to see that weren't upstairs, Arthur and Andy.
You let that old man shamble up the stairs all by himself with that able-bodied murderer. Thanks, guys.
Anytime.
I mean, statistically, Morris dancers are more commonly the victims of crime than the perpetrators in this town.
It's 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah, it is now.
Statistically, based on the 7 beers, 1 glass of water, 1 quad bike accident, bumped together on me. So, each minute's a gift.
Yeah.
Does it look like the one in your photo?
I'm going to bring it up and compare. I'm assuming it does look familiar.
It does. It does look like the one in the photo.
Obviously, there will need to be some form of chemical test, but I think what you're holding is a murder weapon.
DCI Cornwall looks good. We could really do with the vial. And he turns to David. He says, "Where's the vial, David? Where did you do it? When did you do it? How did you do it?" David stops and looks at Arthur, who clears his throat.
I'm sure some leniency would be granted from us, gesture towards the 3 of them for corroboration, for not wasting the police's time, for all the anguish that you and your dear wife have been through. A jury would understand.
He sort of smiles and looks at his wife. He says, "Yeah, wasting time. I hear, DCI Cornwall, that in half an hour or so, this case is you lose this case. It goes over to the outside force. Who knows what might go missing, vanish then. if you want the vial, it's in Waltham Bridge. Find it.
Why would you bring the lid back and not the vial?
The vial had served its purpose.
And the lid hadn't?
Yeah. Lid's a lid. Maybe I was cocky. It was all it all happened quite quickly, after all. But when you're trying to poison someone, you you know, there's clarity and there's also a certain panic at the same time. I don't know if any of you have ever poisoned anyone before.
Not personally.
And when you're poisoning a friend, even worse.
I can imagine it would be hard to poison a friend.
If there's leniency, he sort of turns to Cornwall, for helping with investigations, then I can tell you where I think it might be. Cornwall thinks, and he turns to the three of you.
Bob's got his flip phone out, and he's like trying to dial the code for, call home on his, he's trying to remember.
Arthur would do the same, but he wants to start recording what's being said. Just in case it is where he says it's
Yeah, Bob's
They'll act like he's dialing.
No, Bob's literally just calling his wife.
It is not uncommon for our prosecuting counsel to be willing to say in a statement that the defendant was cooperative. Mm-hmm. So the judge may take that into account
for sentencing.
And it was my decision and I acted alone. You understand that, of course.
Well, I do have a bit of an issue with that. Not that I'm trying to be picky about it, but I just feel that it's an amazing coincidence that your wife happened to steal a vial of cyanide from her jewelry class just about the same time as you needed some in order to poison someone. That seems convenient.
Maybe she forgot she had it. Maybe I took advantage of the situation. It's part of their course. Easy when they're clearing up for her to sort of accidentally put it away with the jewelry she'd made.
It doesn't much matter. I mean, with a jailbird husband, her reputation is in tatters anyway. But, he's bargaining for her not to go to prison. He does love her.
I do love her. I've moved here for her.
I did the same for my wife.
So
and he's still trying to type the number incorrectly.
No.
I think we would certainly support, shall we say, a very much lesser charge. Our evidence could point to her being an accessory, but an accessory not fully aware, shall we say? Not somebody who would have to face being a part of a murder plot.
We certainly could, especially if we cut an end to this drawn out, elaborate discussion and get to the facts.
When we are forced to give our statements, and obviously we will at some point have to write it down, everything, I think we could all write down that she was perhaps misled or prevailed upon rather than being fully aware of the consequences of stealing the poison.
Arthur looks worriedly at Bob when Andy says everything.
Bob he's really getting frustrated with the beeps.
Oh.
And he's trying to get to dial the phone to call his wife. So tell us where it is.
All three of you can roll sleuthing, police work, and interrogate, please.
Okay. D10.
Unless one of you, if you want one of you can take haggling, because you've sort of been doing this good cop, bad cop, dealy kind of,
Okay.
So one of you can take haggling, the other two interrogate.
I do and will not be taking it.
In order to take haggling, I'd have to go down the villaging path, though, wouldn't I?
Oh.
Which is worse for me.
Going down the villaging path. Going down the villaging path. Sounds like part of a Morris Dancer's dance, to be honest.
Okay.
Going down the villaging path.
A D10 and a couple of D8s.
Don't depend on my rolls. I got lucky that one time.
I might need to.
Yeah.
I already rolled.
6, 7, 8 I've got.
Oh no.
Oh,
You and
I hate to do it. I have an 8, a 5, a 4, and a 1.
Oh
Yes. Well done.
because I have a 7, a 4, and a 4. And Roll20's so happy to make that little 4 a green. Look at me, I gave you a 4.
Yeah.
Things are not exactly falling for me tonight, but you know, that's the way it goes.
One of us is going to get there. That's why we're a team.
It's a good team.
Yeah.
Thoroughly good teamwork.
His size has, well, the first time I tried was at Cafe Ole before we started, when we met up. I poured a little into his tankard, but Marjorie, the owner, she sort of looked in it before, tipped it out, rinsed it out as if it's sort of an old drink, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And while he complained a little of stomachache after, it wasn't enough. The second time, at the pub, I thought it was going to happen again. When he complained about the beer being sort of dusty, they sort of gone to change the, you know, they replaced it. They changed the barrel, but it appears he's drunk enough of it. Thankfully, I suppose. He looks sad. You know, it's someone that's caught between a rock and a hard place, I suppose. That time I poured it in just after we finished our dance. "12:30 we finished that dance. That's where I poured it in. The vial's probably still there."
Suddenly, Bob has the correct number dialed into his phone and it's ringing. You can decide if his elderly wife is still awake enough to answer the phone.
Yeah, what's it? Sunday in 2020. Yeah, she's been watching the results for Strictly.
Okay. I know it's late. I know it's late. I need you to go down and find something for me in town. It's very important. You know how it is. I need you to go find this file on the ground.
Have you been drinking, Bob?
Yes, but look.
Robert Lewis. How many times have I told you?
It's a very important murder investigation. Didn't you hear about the dead man today? I've been solving it all day.
No, is that what you
Apparently,
call
I'm a
it?
hero. Will you go find the file?
10 pints in.
7.
Unbelievable. 7
I had
pints.
a sandwich and a glass of water.
I had a sandwich.
We have this argument every year.
Robert Horatio Lewis.
It's very important. It's time sensitive. I need you to go find.
Don't you think you're sleeping in the bed with me tonight? And she hangs up.
It's redial. He knows where that button is.
There is no answer.
Just after there's a hang up in the background, you hear, Bob, here's your pint of water.
Oh, what a wingman.
All right, he'll
Cornwall looks to the three of you very suspiciously for a second. He's sort of playing with his car keys. And he's trying to judge. And then he sighs. He says, and he sort of, he wanders off a bit, radios something. And 30 seconds later, you hear a car pull up outside. And a uniformed police officer comes into the house, speaks with DCI Cornwall. Sort of gently leads the couple into making sure they're both in the drawing room and stays there with them.
Mm-hmm.
And Cornwall looks at the three of you and says, "When I'm driving, you better find this file."
Let's go.
I have to say that was a really good response time.
Well,
maybe it's because we're on the mainland and not on the island. But
I didn't,
very impressive.
Well, I didn't come down by myself when you called. This is a murder investigation. I know.
No, I'm not questioning. It's praise. It's praise. Well done to you.
This is not some wet behind the ears constable. I mean, look at his bag. It's covered in mirrors. This is a guy who definitely knows what he's doing.
He chose us.
Arthur laughs a little bit.
Come
on, let's go.
Yeah.
You head out, and his car is there. It is a gleaming, beautiful, and of course, because of the sort of game we're playing, it is a Rover 75.
Of course, it is.
It can't be anything but.
Might I suggest Fenwick Farm Lane, and we take the long way round? There are quite a lot of drunks heading up to the station last time we came down that way. It would take us ages to get through.
Don't you worry, young Arthur. You come sit in the front. You can be in charge of these. And he points down to a little button in the center console.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
And
yeah, there's no arguing with that. Sure.
Make sure you're belted in. And he turns the ignition. And he revs up and heads up north.
I want to say that Bob is directly behind DCI Cornwall, and I think that the man finds out that his knees are just as broad as his elbows. It's very difficult to get that buckle done. There's multiple mechanisms.
Multiple mechanisms. There is when you see 3 of everything.
Wasn't a very good sandwich.
He revs up to sort of the northeast. You sort of go across the crossing, then towards the roundabout. He has to slow down because there's heavy crowds around the roundabout because there appears to be some sort of crash taking up some of the road. And,
I look at it with wide eyes. What's happened here?
So yeah, he sighs. He looks at you, Arthur. There's why don't you clear a path?
The button goes, or the switch, whatever it is.
The sirens start up. The lights start flashing. People look around in sort of shock. Sort of some jump out the way, and magically a path
He
clears.
opens the window and waves out the window.
People look in. They see the DCI there. They see a man in a SpongeBob hat sat next to him. Just assume he's picked up the local drug dealer. And,
Who's riding in the front?
Yeah. That means the ones in the back must be worse. Well, there's a drunk old man waving. So.
Yeah, there is.
He guns it up. He guns it up the Rupes. Here we go. It doesn't take long, but while you've got somewhat of a confession, you want to complete it properly, and those the bods at Rattlesbury are there. They're obviously on their way. It is. It's about 9:05. You've got about 25 minutes, and as you sort of hammer up there in his car, it's 5 minutes for him. This is some good stuff, and you head past Fallerman's farm and screech it into Waltham Bridge. Now
he's taken that advanced driving course.
Has he ever? He said, "Let's get rid of some random maps. I have no reason why they're there. So Fletcham, we don't need Fletcham. We don't need Stanton.
I like to think that
So many
Thistle is like
maps.
so excited by all this noise that he's just roaming between the seats, like back and forth, like dogs do when they're excited in a small car. And everyone has gotten at least one paw to the balls. Because that also happens when you have a small dog.
And Thistle's doing the same.
You get up to the edge of the Rupes. He hangs left onto Church Lane, and pulls into the car park. He just parks wherever. He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But he pulls in. There's no point going through because the crowds are massive down here now. Because if you remember, we've had sort of the burning effigy has happened, and there's various stages with music playing. And while the Brewer's Tap is shut, all the stalls outside are still sort of finishing their drinks, and people are just dancing, singing along, listening to the music. And you jump out on Church Lane. He says, "Right, where are we going? Where's this file?"
Their sequence of events, I'm trying to remember which way they went after the pub. I think they left out after the pub up that little alley, didn't they, to go towards the riverside?
So
it was definitely towards the riverside because that's where we met some of their. There were a couple there, weren't they, who had moved on.
So
the location of
somewhere
I want to
between...
say the location of the next dance. Hold on,
We effectively will either find it in the pub still somewhere.
He said he did it when they finished their dance before the pub.
Right. Okay, so we did have a sequence, and I'm trying to see his.
We were given
his next performance was at Cafe Olay. His previous show was at the back of Baker and Son, and then St Matthews and Peddlers.
Cafe
well, he
Olay.
tried at Cafe Olay and failed, and then he at the next performance.
So
Cafe Olay was before they started. That's where they met up. So
they
did it after their first.
That's where the drink got discarded, and he got a partial dose.
They did it after their first performance.
So it's back of Baker and Son, or St Matthew's and Peddler's Peloton. So it's on that triangle, isn't it? It's between the church and Church Lane and the Peddler's Peloton.
Can we flash back to Bob like pocketing some part of David Wayne's costume that might smell like him?
Sure, if you want.
Oh, awesome. So Thistle can help, right?
Definitely.
This might be easier with the nose closer to the ground.
Sure. And
We only have 20 minutes.
I suspect that if you let Thistle smell something and then let him take the lead, he'll go straight to the nearest pub.
I mean, they did spend a lot of time at pubs.
Of course, we've got the lid, haven't we? Have we DCI?
Yes.
Do you want
We
a dog
have.
smelling a cyanide lid?
I don't think. Is that dangerous? Does anyone know? I'm no expert.
Well, it's if you
You just open the bag. And
I mean, it takes a measurable amount to kill a rat.
Yeah.
Their smell is
run the
much
slight
stronger than
risk
that.
that the dog will think, "What's this?" and lick it.
No, that is true.
Okay.
That is true.
All right.
It's a measurable amount, though. You're probably all right. Yeah? I don't know. Make a roll. Well, Thistle can make a roll. A survival roll.
That worries me.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we should start looking then. If it's too dangerous.
So, did you want Thistle to sniff the clothes or something? Then was that your plan?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to roll for Thistle. I never get to roll for dogs. Right, hang on.
Fair enough.
Right, yeah,
Because this will be something that Mr. Wayne had discarded.
that's it. Right, we can have a D10 because that's just to prove that dogs can do anything.
Because it's a
they want
human.
to.
So really, they have a chance of
You can have a D8
doing
for,
anything.
You can have a D8 for his sniffing skills.
He is a hunting dog, working
Yeah,
with a hunter.
that's true. That's farming. D8 for farming.
A working dog,
D6 for
Very much.
working. He is a D6 for working.
gamekeeper,
Mhm.
gamekeeper's dog.
I'll tell you what. That's what I'll do. I'll give him that. Well, he's rolled better than any of you lot tonight. He's now got a boo.
He is the best of us, to be
He
fair,
is.
at this stage.
He takes a sniff, sniffs a bit more, and heads off east on Church Lane. Turns a right down Pool Road back towards the Rupes. So the crowds are busy, and he's sort of barging through a little bit. And I'm guessing you've got him on the end of the lead, have you? Or is he off on his freedom, Arthur?
No, he'll be roaming free whilst he's trying to.
Yeah, you can
send
command him to
something
call
out.
when he gets there. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So
You'll
the
hear it.
The three of you are sort of having to barge through a little bit. You know, there's quite a crowd, and you want to kind of keep half an eye on him.
Mhm.
He heads past the Brewer's Tap, turns up the alleyway, and once he heads up the alleyway, he makes it across to Riverside Way, and he heads straight off the gap next to Baker and Son.
Okay.
To where the Baker and Son, like the stage was, I guess, or the open patch of ground,
or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
That thing, yeah.
where they performed. And he sort of sniffs around there for a bit, and then he stops there and he sort of sniffs around an area, and then there's sort of a tree where, from the looks of it, there's a few discarded bits and pieces that look like it's been a place where troops have probably settled, sort of before and after their dance, and seems like a staging point. But he sort of sniffs around near that tree and stops and waits dutifully for his master. What a good dog.
He'll struggle up behind, I suppose, at this point in the evening after so many beers, and say, "Oh, good boy," and give him a treat from the pocket. Well done.
And he's very happy with that, and he's very cheery. He's got the best
Click
energy out
back
of all
on
of
the
you.
lead.
DCI.
look to the rest of them and say, well, that's the path, I would imagine.
DCI Cornwall catches up with the three of you. He says, "So this is one of the the stages. This was where they performed. Is this where you want to look, or are you going to look elsewhere?"
This is one of the places to start. They also performed by the Peloton, but this is as good a place to start as any.
Right. Please be quick. If I don't get a call in about 15 minutes, it's over to Rattlesbury. And you know what? While we can claim something, you know, there have been talks about closing down our department altogether here, and all local policing going out to Rattlesbury. This would change minds, you know.
This is unacceptable.
It is unacceptable. You can see why I'm so stressed.
Bear with me, DCI. What if you put the call in, assuming we're finding it,
and say we've got it?
Well, let's start looking.
Let's look first. We'll give it more time. We've got a little bit of time before that.
Yeah,
before we come to that point.
Make that decision.
But think about it whilst we're looking.
Yeah, Bob has already accidentally put the flashlight function on his flip phone, so he is, and already accidentally fallen. So he's at the foot of the tree, trying to get up, but at the same time moving bits of litter around, and like the phone.
Can I walk around the tree to see if there are any like holes in it and gaps in it?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Why don't you roll a? Oh, let's go for farming, working, crops and trees. We haven't got to use a crops and trees check.
We haven't, and we're not going to right now because I don't have any.
A D10 then for pure luck.
Just a D10. That's a 3.
You can't. Your knowledge of trees is very limited.
Yeah.
You've urinated up a few at times, but in this case you can't. You wouldn't know where sort of knots and holes and things would be, or where the best places in routes. So your investigation on that part is limited. Bob, with your sort of rubbing your hands around sort of the bottom, for you, let's try.
I do have farming and working, just nothing below it.
Well, take that then.
Okay.
D10, D8, D6.
Uh-huh. I don't want it to.
That's pretty good. A 1 and a 2.
As your hand runs around, we've all been kicked back. Ewan's come back and he's kicked us all to the top corner.
Oh, sorry. It was the excitement of the of Sparrow's Row.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's all coming together. It's only there when I'm gonna be the hero.
Oh yes, as it should be.
Well,
and you may well be, because as you run your hand around, it does run across a glass object, and as you look down, there is a small glass vial.
I found it. And then he flips off the flashlight, calls his wife.
There is no answer. Don't pretend there's going to be any answer at all. You are sofa at best, and that's if you've remembered where your keys are.
And where you live.
If not, you're in the greenhouse again.
I'm going to obviously hear Bob say this, and I'm going to turn to the detective, and then point dramatically at the tree, right where Bob's been pointing, and go, "Jacques."
DCI Cornwall's, you can see, even as this sort of the night is rolling in now, a big grin crosses over his face. He says, "We've got him. We've actually got him. A man,
It's a sad day, but we won."
It killed his friend for his wife's coffee evenings.
I've heard worse.
If you wrote it down as a story, no one would believe it.
That's true. But
real life is often stranger.
yes, we will obviously write down our entire reports tomorrow when we've had a night's sleep. But other than that, I think our work here is done, and in time for us to slip in a couple of pints before closing. I think.
I mean,
Well,
we've gotten a little sober. That's a shame.
and it seems, Bob, that you need somewhere warm to spend the night. And I just so happen to still have the key to the brewer's tap that Lenny left me.
Oh,
Anyone know how to pour a good pint of Boomhole?
Oh, that does sound lovely.
yes.
Uh,
Maybe another sandwich too, or some crackers.
He had,
I do have an 18 holes booked in later on for this evening, but I'm sure I've got time before tee off.
There's always time for a pint before tee off.
he hands you the key, Andy. He says, "Get the pints in. I'm gonna make the best call I've made in some time." And he
We're
hands you
very
the
happy
key.
for you.
Thank you, you three. If anything ever happens again, I won't hesitate to ask for your help.
Oh,
And,
you're very welcome, of course.
Nice.
and with that, the key is handed over. He sort of wanders back a little bit, and the last thing you hear is him calling into Rattlesbury as you approach the brewer's tap, which still has tape around it with a sense of power and responsibility. You're able to duck under it, open the door, and as our story ends here, the rest of your evening, early morning, and mid-morning will play out. Well done, you three. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Thank you very much.
The
Thank
next
you, Luke.
campaign we play, I will have a paper notebook.
Guaranteed notes all the time.
Mhm.
Well done. You did it. You did it.
As a quick little follow up, if I may, Arthur's going to spend the evening with the other two, but partially on his phone, he's going to be registering an apology tartan with the Scottish Registry of Tartans called Lady Chumley's Weave, which matches the colours of the hyacinths in her front garden.
Oh,
A
no.
way of apologising for accusing them of murder. Perhaps.
I'm sure
She
she'll
seems
arrive.
quite interested in the tartan. Yeah, the fabric tartan.
I'm sure she'll understand that in the intensity and the uncertainty of the time, and of course, as we don't know how the court case will go, we don't know what will happen to Mrs. Wayne, of course, but we do know that Mr. Wayne will indeed spend some time inside. Thanks to you three. So congratulations, well done.
A terrible day for the
Thank
village,
you.
but a lovely day for us.
Yes, and a good story. I mean,
Yeah.
I did originally feel that when we found out who had murdered the Morris dancer, we'd owe him a drink. But when we discovered the murderer is also a Morris dancer, I think that makes it a bit more awkward, doesn't it?
When they were good friends, it sort of shifts the.
I think
the
he's had
tone
enough
of the
drinks
whole.
for the day.
Definitely.
Yes. Well, I think I'm right in saying that His Majesty's prisons take a pretty dim view on drunkenness among their inmates.
And Morris dancing, I would imagine.
I'm pretty sure that's not wildly practiced either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this was really fun, Luke. I enjoyed the story quite a bit.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I do
very
like
much.
accusing middle-aged women of murdering their husband's friends.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's
Yeah.
very interesting.
I mean,
Bear that in
middle-aged
mind.
women do like to murder people.
Oh, very much so. It's a
They're
bit of a
tired
kink.
of it.
Bit of a kink for middle-aged women.
Yeah. I mean, they spend their entire youths listening to true crime podcasts.
That is true. Learning all the
You know,
ways.
kids get out of the house, and all of a sudden, it's like, well, I've got all that extra room in the chest freezer.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not filled with hot pockets anymore.
That sentence suddenly took a really grim turn.
Oh,
Oh,
but it's very accurate, especially when it comes to poison.
A
Statistically,
lot
I
of
believe.
people get caught after they die, and they stop paying the power bill, and the neighbors start wondering what the smell is in the garage because the chest freezer isn't working anymore. Like, it happens a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't actually listen to true crime podcasts, just to be clear. I'm not judging people who do, but I don't.
well, it sounds like you're kind of judging them a little bit.
No, but when you live in like a really
don't
rural
judge
state,
people, but-
you hear about more murders than you don't.
That is true. Oh, I can't find the clip I'm trying to find with the Morris dancing from Wasted, which I really enjoyed.
Oh,
Very excited. It was absolutely crazy. I'll find another one for. Sorry. What's this one? Yeah, the Fast Show Morris dancing. That'll do.
But that was a thoroughly enjoyable first adventure. Thank you.
It was.
A lot of fun.
And that was our first ever actual game in our sort of game of the villages, our first adventure in the villages in our Southbourne setting.
Mm.
It's a magical thing. We'll have
And I think it had us guessing at some points and sniffing at
Yeah.
clues at others. It had a bit of everything. It's very
I
nice.
felt very honored to be included in your first streamed version.
We do have a couple more prepared, a
The
couple
rest of
more
us,
adventures prepared. So we
Lovely.
will be continuing with this, and
I'm
hopefully,
so excited.
you never know, Sparrow might even be beguiled into coming and joining us for the next one.
Oh, I can send you three now the full newspaper with all the internal bits, so you can see the workings, read it through, check that it makes sense. Look, there's a vial,
Fantastic.
and then you can sort of see how it works with your guys, so we can look at a format that works for everyone. So
Excellent.
yeah, you could. There's so
That
many
sounds
people,
really good.
so many people you could have spoken to that you didn't. Oh,
We only had so
fun.
much time.
Give
You
us the
never spoke-
highlights. Who are the most unusual people that we could have spoken to that we didn't?
You never spoke to Nico Collins, the cricketer. He was there. He knows things. He knows things. You could have
Oh.
spoken-
Nico Collins, supermodel / cricketer.
Exactly. What a guy he was.
Hmm.
You could have spoken to Joey Wilson. You could have spoken to Arthur Luckhurst. The volunteer driver of the beef train.
You get so much further
And the
just talking to
campanologist.
women.
Oh,
Middle-aged and old women are the best ones to talk to if you want to know what's really happening. Men are
that's
just
true.
so used to lying for each other.
I've got
And
my
Bob
notes
knows
here.
Get
that.
anything straight
To
out
be
of them.
fair.
Bob knows.
Every woman has a grudge against another woman. Period.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to go to the halfway house and just waste a load of time. To go to speak to Neil. He was taking a shift there, but then you called instead, thank goodness. I was like, oh no,
I mean,
we're going
you-
to waste about an hour here.
You speak as though we didn't waste a load of time in other places.
Yeah.
Going back
It
to Walford
definitely
Bridge to
happened.
speak to Carmen was a waste of time.
I mean,
Although-
Bob didn't even try any clairvoyance in Delilah's shop. We were trying not to
Oh,
waste
that was
time.
so full of
We're-
that room's so full of juju.
I know.
Mm.
You'd just,
He
it'd
was
be
so
like,
full of juju. I think it like gave him some like performance anxiety. Like, oh, I can't stand up for this. I'm not going to try anything in here. Like Delilah will know, and she'll tell people I can read their minds. I can't.
yet. Oh, is this a power up as we go along?
I don't know.
Next
That was a game changer though. That cabinet
cabinet, yeah.
at least gave us the belief that we knew what we were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, so
And that's
at
all it
that
needs to
point,
be.
We felt we were definitely on the downhill slope.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
a
liked
fan.
the route we
liked it.
took. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was really good.
You took a good route. That's interesting. You spent a little bit looking at the Morris dancers, but then you sort of there were two sort of routes, I guess. The well, there was three: the Morris dancers, the campanologists, and the ladies, really.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
you sort of chatted with the Morris dancers, got some vibes, and then honed in on the ladies.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
he is good friends with Mavis Bouvier,
Who isn't?
surprisingly.
Indeed. Well, sadly, I've got to be up at some point tomorrow, and the night is drawing in.
Mhm.
It is
As
indeed.
much as I enjoy to sit and revel in the end of an adventure, but that just means we'll have another adventure set up to run before too long, so that's good.
After 10 sessions.
Not too bad actually for us. Pretty good
No,
for an arc.
no, it's either 1 or 20. So this was pretty good.
sat nicely in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
The sweet spot. The
Fantastic.
sweet spot.
You did put a
Thanks,
time
Mark.
limit in it, that helped.
Yeah, exactly. When you got a time limit, that's it.
No,
And
brilliant.
that's part of it. There is a time limit, Mark. There's a time limit to the game, so the GM has to kind of keep track of the time. So there's always a certain amount of time before it gets handed over to out of town, or something happens, or the person escapes, or something, because it keeps
Yeah.
it keeps it kicking on. Because there's like trains and buses and that, so the time is quite important. So it keeps it ticking along. But the idea is to do it without too much bookkeeping. So the GM kind of keeps it loose. So that probably took about 10 minutes. That probably took about 15 minutes. So then the newspapers and that will give like time. So the handouts help the players. They're supposed to reference it. So physically, you'd have them all on the table, and you start referencing times and things. So
Makes the trains and the buses feel a little bit more, and the boats feel a little bit more real.
yeah,
Or at least gives
Makes
you some
getting
guidelines
an
on
alternative
how long
ride
the next one is.
a little more urgent
Yeah.
at the end. Yeah.
Exactly.
Kind of guides your choices a bit.
because it's about 6 miles from the top to the bottom of the map. So it's not massive, but
Yeah.
it would take an hour to walk from.
Yeah,
St.
I think
James to
that's the
Bridge.
issue. If it's a long way on foot, but it isn't once you've got transport.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all
For
that
sure.
sort of thing. But anyway,
Anyway.
let's go to bed in the big Baltic Star bed. We've set up the guest's bedroom tonight.
I brought all my extra pillows.
Good. Make sure we'll bring you up breakfast in bed tomorrow. I believe it's Ewan's morning for that. So
Okay, I have a long
Yeah.
list of allergies. I'll let you know what they are.
Yeah, as long as you like black pudding, because his breakfast is mostly black pudding.
On toast, to be fair.
Blood is one of those things that I'm allergic to.
Okay. We'll adjust. It's fine. Don't worry. Of course not.
I'll have a cup of coffee with just cream. Thank you. That's fine.
Right, well, good night, everyone. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, anyone else that's still lurking around. We appreciate you all. And
Good night.
we'll see everyone soon.
Good night.